I'm no tech genius, but I knew if I wanted my business to crush it, I needed a website now. Thankfully, Bluehost made it easy. I customized, optimized, and monetized everything exactly how I wanted with AI. In minutes, my site was up. I couldn't believe it. The search engine tools even helped me get more site visitors. Whatever your passion project is, you can set it up with Bluehost. With their 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you got to lose? Head to Bluehost.com. That's BLUEHOST.com to start now.
Did I put the clothes in the dryer?
I hope they don't think I was
I
serious
need to be
about
awake
this
and
joke.
agree.
I've got my brain
Snacks.
shut
Just
off.
sleep already.
When your racing thoughts keep you up at night, it's tough to let go and get the rest you need. Better sleep can help. You might have heard of white or brown noise. There's a whole rainbow of color noises, and they can help you calm your mind, reduce stress, and sleep better, like the green noise you're listening to now. With the Better Sleep app, you can discover more color noises and over 200 soothing sounds, guided meditations, and bedtime stories. High-quality rest is vital to your mental well-being and physical health. Calm your restless mind, conquer your day, and sleep better at night. Download Better Sleep from the App Store or Google Play and start a 7-day trial today. Because when you sleep better, you feel better.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Peter Zablocki, and you're listening to History Shorts. I hope everyone is having a great day so far, and thank you for making this show a small part of that. If you'd like to help me out with a small gesture, please leave History Shorts a rating or a review, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. For sources and books used as the basis for these episodes, how to advertise on a show, and other information such as a list of our upcoming guests on the conversation series, or a link to our Patreon account where you can find exclusive episodes not heard here, please visit www.historyshortspodcast.com. Today's episode is brought to you by the Podcast Republic, your ultimate podcast listening app. Discover and subscribe to thousands of podcasts from around the globe, all in one place. Download Podcast Republic now and take your podcast experience to the next level. Having said all of that, in the mid-19th century, the United States Army confronted an enduring problem as it expanded westward: the logistical difficulty of supplying troops and building infrastructure across the vast, arid terrain of the American Southwest. When horses and mules, essential to U.S. military operations, proved vulnerable to heat, scarce forage, and long distances between water sources, the Army came up with a different plan, one that involved camels. And here is the rest of that story.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941,
it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
With horses and mules proving vulnerable to military actions in the expanded American frontier, in 1836, Major George H. Crossman, drawing on his frontier experience in Florida, proposed an unconventional solution: the deployment of camels. Crossman praised the animals' extraordinary endurance, noting their ability to carry 700 to 900 pounds, traverse 30 to 40 miles per day, and survive as long as 8 days without any water. His recommendation, however, was largely ignored for nearly 2 decades. By the late 1840s, with the acquisition of new southwestern territories following the Mexican-American War, the proposal resurfaced. Major Henry C. Wayne, a forward-thinking Army quartermaster, revived Crossman's concept and presented it to Jefferson Davis, who became Secretary of War under President Franklin Pierce in 1853. Davis, eager to modernize the U.S. military operations, became the project's champion. In March 1855, Congress authorized $30,000 to fund the experiment, an ambitious investment in what became known as the U.S. Army Camel Corps. That same year, Wayne boarded the USS Supply under Lieutenant David Dixon Porter, embarking on a months-long mission to get the camels from across the Mediterranean and the Middle East. Wayne visited Tunis, Alexandria, and Constantinople, negotiating for camels of various breeds, as well as saddles, harnesses, and specialized equipment. He also recruited skilled Arab, Greek, and Turkish handlers, including the Syrian-born Haji Ali, who became widely known by his Americanized name, Hai Jali. Of the 33 camels acquired, only one died en route. 2 were born during the voyage, demonstrating the animal's resilience even under the strain of ocean transport. The caravan landed at Indianola, Texas, on 14th of May, 1856, to considerable public curiosity. Once at Camp Verde in Texas, which became the Camel Corps' headquarters, the animals underwent rigorous testing. In one demonstration, Wayne loaded 4 massive bales of hay with over 1,200 pounds onto a single camel. Spectators expected the animal to falter, but instead it rose and walked away calmly, astounding the assembled officers. In another well-documented trial, camels and mules were sent from San Antonio to Camp Verde to deliver oats. The camels hold 3,648 pounds of grain and completed the journey in just 2 days, while the mule teams carrying less than half of that weight took nearly 5. These trials repeatedly confirmed what Wayne and Crossman had long argued. Camels far outperformed traditional pack animals in endurance, load capacity, and adaptability. The camel's success extended to operational missions. From 1857 to 1859, Lieutenant Edward Fitzgerald Bale led an expedition surveying a wagon route along the 35th parallel, from Fort Defiance in present-day Arizona to the Colorado River. Bale's initial skepticism gave way to admiration. In his journals, he noted that the camels never stumbled, carried loads of 750 to 1,000 pounds, and traveled 30 miles daily without any distress. Crossing stretches of terrain so dry and barren that horses' hooves cracked and bled, the camels consumed prickly pear cactus and desert shrubs untouched by other animals. Bale famously wrote that his men had come to admire the calm endurance of these noble beasts and credited them with ensuring the expedition's success. Yet despite all the demonstrated advantages, the camel experiment faced growing opposition from soldiers. Many viewed the animal as alien, disruptive, and unpleasant. Horses panicked at their smell and bolted when forced to share trails with them. Soldiers complained about the camel's unpredictable temperaments and their habit of spitting cud at perceived irritants. One anecdote recounts a startled mule driver abandoning his cart mid-journey after a camel suddenly charged his team, causing chaos and forcing Wayne to suspend mixed animal convoys entirely. While these incidents may seem minor, they reveal the deeper institutional resistance the program faced. U.S. Army culture resisted abandoning familiar practices, even in the face of proved performance. By 1857, a second shipment of 44 camels boosted the Corps' total to 70. Nevertheless, political headwinds slowed momentum. After President Pierce left office, Davis lost influence as Secretary of War, and his eventual departure for the Confederacy during the Civil War sealed the project's fate. When Camp Verde fell to Confederate forces in 1861, about 80 camels were captured. Some were repurposed to hold salt and cotton, and others were sold or released. Across Texas, Arizona, and California, reports of wild camel sightings became common well into the late 19th century. One enduring piece of folklore, the Red Ghost of Arizona, described a feral red-haired camel spotted in the 1880s, terrifying ranchers with a human skeleton strapped to its back. Though likely not real, the story showed the strange afterlife of the Camel Corps. In 1866, Congress ordered the sale of the remaining government-owned camels. Some were bought by private freight haulers and circuses. Others ended up as curiosities in city parks and zoos. One of the most famous, a patrician female named Topsy, performed in traveling circuses and even appeared in early silent films before being transferred to the Griffith Park Zoo in Los Angeles. When she was euthanized in 1934, Topsy was believed to be nearly 80 years old, the last known living link to the Camel Corps experiment. The handlers, too, became legendary figures of the frontier. Hi Jolly, beloved for his skill and eccentricity, remained in the American Southwest after the Corps disbanded. He worked as a scout and mule packer for the U.S. Army and then took up prospecting in Arizona, where he died in 1902. In his honor, Quartzsite residents built the Hi Jolly Monument in 1935, a stone pyramid crowned with a bronze camel. Today, it stands as one of the few tangible memorials of the entire Camel Corps. In hindsight, the failure of the camel experiment cannot be attributed to the animals themselves. Technically, camels excelled in every measurable aspect of their endurance and transport efficiency. Rather, the experiment faltered due to institutional resistance, cultural unfamiliarity, and the shifting priorities of a nation consumed by civil war. Today, historical reenactments, living history programs, and museums in Texas and Arizona celebrate the story of the Camel Corps. Organizations like the Texas Camel Corps uses live camels to recreate Bale's expeditions for students and visitors, providing insight into one of the Army's most unusual experiments. Anyway, while it never reshaped U.S. military logistics, the project occupies a fascinating niche in American frontier history, a bold attempt to merge Old West ingenuity with New World ambition, undone less by technical limitations than by cultural ones. Thanks for listening. This Friday on the History Shorts Conversation Series, David Chaffetz, an independent scholar with a passion for Middle Eastern and Inner Asian history.
The reason why I wasn't very comfortable with the implied explanation of the Silk Road is that the Silk Road suggests that there are luxury products, mainly Chinese, which have to be transferred from one group of rich people in one part of Europe, Asia, to another group of people in Eurasia who are also rich. And everything in between is just sort of a blank space with people we don't care about who never contributed anything to civilization. It turns out that this space between China and, let's say, the Middle East or Europe was a very vibrant space. But it turns out to have been terribly important economically, socially, culturally. There was the basin for a lot of world religions to kind of travel across Eurasia, including Christianity and Zoroastrianism and Buddhism. And they did this by interchanging not luxury products, but items of everyday consumption and use, including horses and other livestock and other steppe products, if you will. But horses were the most valuable and, in a way, strategically, the most important product that they were moving across the steppe.
Hey everybody, it's Nicole Byer here with some hot takes from Wayfair. A cozy corduroy sectional from Wayfair? Yeah, that's a hot take. Go on and add it to your cart and take it. A pink glam nightstand from Wayfair? Scalding hot take. Take it before I do. A mid-century modern cabinet from Wayfair that doubles as a wine bar? Do I have to say it? It's a hot take. Get it at Wayfair.com and enjoy that free shipping too.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.